Well, that was a jaunt. It wasn't quite as exciting as I thought it was going to be up there. It's lovely, but it was a lot of the same thing. You tend to find that in the cairngorms. It's all really similar, that's why it's quite hard to navigate. Walking known loops and tracks is good, but when you go up onto the kind of uplands, especially if there's snow, it's very difficult to navigate because everything looks the same. You need to really know where you are. You need to continually visualise your map as what's round about you. Associate features, contour lines, ridge lines, cliff edges, summits, rivers, corries, anything at all that can help you navigate. Because, a wee bit of wind. Because it's a tough old gig to navigate in the cairngorms. And I'm not the world's best map reader. I get by. Some people have got that supersonic ability, natural sense of direction, and all the rest of it. I don't have that. So I've got to continually practice and remind myself of things. And I never ever see myself as lost, I just see myself as geographically misplaced. And I don't panic. All I do is go back to a known location and take it from there. If you can't do that, there's a thing called a resection. They take a bit of learning. And if you can't do that, there's always prayer. The power of prayer. Saint Christopher. Maybe he'll magic himself down out the sky and give you a punty. Highly unlikely, of course. However, stranger things have happened in the mountains. Or you go to a river or a stream and you follow it downhill. Because at no point in this country does water flow uphill. Contrary to popular belief. So you could follow a stream, it might take you to a road. It might take you to a loch. And you can jog your memory from there, because you may have looked at the map earlier and said, well, there's a loch half a mile from here. So I'm going to, hopefully this is the one, because I don't recall seeing any other one. So you would start ruling things out and saying, right, I definitely know that this is Loch X or Loch, Loch B. So from here, I can probably get myself back home. And if you're on this side of the hill, for instance, and you had a rough idea that the loch was that way, and that way was north and that way was, south or east or west, you could probably get yourself back to safety. There's a lot of things you can learn, and there's a lot of things that you can do by luck, but you won't get yourself off a mountain in absolute clag, which is fog, thick, claggy fog, when the visibility is down to 20 metres or 20 feet. You won't get yourself off with no map, no compass and no skills. You need the basic fundamentals, and you need to be fairly clued up with them, unless you're going to stick to signposted, tracked, you know, forestry, commission roads, walks, known loops, circles, and with no deviation. No deviation at all, which means one will just walk up that hill and take some nice photographs. You can't do that because at this time of year, in particular, at any time of year, but particularly now, the weather can do strange things. I walked through a fog bank up there. Look over my right shoulder. There's a fog bank right there. I walked through it and I couldn't see a single thing, but I was on a track. Had I been navigating over a moorland or in ankle deep or shin deep snow, no path, then you're trusting a compass bearing. Excuse me. You're trusting a compass bearing. Never let your brain overrule the compass. That's when people do really seriously get themselves into problems. Even though you've got intuition, and you might say, no, honestly, I'm sure. I'm sure it's that way. And 3 people with you are saying, it's that way. And you're the headstrong guy or the most experienced guy. And you want them to follow you. If you've got a compass, none of you are right. Because if the compass is telling all 4 of you that it's that way, the compass is right. And that's hard for people. It's even harder for people who are borderline hypoglycemic, low blood sugars, or borderline hypothermic. Because they will then be stubborn, pig-headed, they're not thinking straight. And all their mannerisms, excuse me, don't know what I've done there. All their mannerisms and all their headstrong personality traits will be magnified. Don't normally have a cough. I've stopped down at the bottom of this road and get a drink. I've ate all my boiled sweets. I think that's it next. So there you go. Trust the map. Trust the compass. Map and compass. Don't overrule it. Don't convince yourself that you're right when there's a very good chance that you're wrong. If you walk into thick fog on the top of a quarry or a gully or a ridgeline like Anakiga, you'll step off into oblivion and you won't get a second bite of the cherry. Happens every year, and it will happen every year. So practice the basics if you're going to go out yourself, especially into remote locations like this where you're not going to bump into somebody. There's no help. You don't have houses every 500 metres. There's no phone boxes. Phone signal extremely limited, if any at all. You have to be confident. Know your limitations and don't allow temptation to put you into a precarious situation that you can't get out of. Because it happens to the best days. And I've been caught out a few times, so don't do it. Trust the map, trust the compass.